Approximately 7 or 8 years ago, I went on a family vacation to Yellowstone National Park and we rented a Chevy Equinox. And it was horrible. I mean, the ride was horrible, and being a young kid, I was sent to the back seats where there was no vents whatsoever, and on that very hot day, you know, we just burnt up back there. It was not comfortable. It was just a typical rental car experience. But now the Equinox has changed a lot. Like me, it has also grown up, and today we're going to take a look and to see if it has improved. A huge thanks to Kuhn Chevy Buick GMC of Clarksville for letting us take a look at this 2021 Equinox. If you're looking for a new Chevy Buick GMC in the Maryland area, be sure to check them out, especially Rolando. He was a great help. Find his email and their website in the description below. If you like our video, consider subscribing. Let's get into it.
So let's start with the front of the Equinox. The first thing you notice is this one does have the black bow tie, which gives it a really clean and sporty look. Moving on to the headlights, these do have the IntelliBeam system, which means they are auto detecting high beams. They're also just in general auto detecting for night, and these run off of an HID bulb. And the most notable feature on the front to me is the active aero shutters, which are in here behind your grille. Moving to the side of the Equinox, the first feature to talk about is the 17-inch aluminum wheels. These are not very special looking wheels, however, in certain trims you can get them in black. Moving on, talking about the wind mirrors here, these ones are painted, which I know personally on the channel we do not like all of the extra chrome, so big fan of this. These are power adjustable and heated. This car does have keyless entry, which is a really nice modern feature. And one kind of quirky thing we noticed on this vehicle is just how long this part the gas lid is. It seems to be abnormally long compared to other vehicles, which have a more circular shape. Moving on to the back of the Equinox, the one thing we all collectively agreed on is that this vehicle is painfully average. Nothing about the back of this vehicle really makes it stand out from other vehicles. Moving to the inside, in order to get a powerlift tailgate, you're gonna need the $2,000 Confidence and Convenience package, which does give you the powerlift tailgate. Talking about the storage space, with the seats up, you get 30 cubic feet of storage. To put them down, you have two latches over here, which can be a bit hard to pull, but it's nothing too inconveniencing. With both of those down, you will get 64 cubic feet of storage space. Under the hood of the Chevy Equinox, you will find a 1.5 liter DOHC engine, which puts out 170 horsepower and has 203 pound-feet of torque. This vehicle has a 6-speed automatic transmission and is powered by an all-wheel drive system. The first trim of the Equinox is the Equinox L. For just under $25K, you will get a 7-inch infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, LED daytime running lights, and the forward collision warning Chevy safety system. Next trim up is the Equinox LS. For $27,400, you will get the rear carpeted floor mats and available keyless entry. For $28,700, you get the Equinox LT, which comes with the HID headlamps, the body colored mirrors, the power adjustable driver's seat with lumbar support, and available remote start. For $32,500, you get the Premier, which comes with heated leather seats with memory, dual zone climate control, and the hands-free power liftgate. And this particular one has the Premier Redline Sport package, which gives you this red on the badge and on the rims down there, and that'll cost you $895.
All right, and here we are getting in the car. You can see we have our nice key right here, but this vehicle does have keyless entry. Just hit the button to unlock the car. And getting in is nice and easy. Is a crossover, nice and low. Close the door. Actually a surprisingly nice sound from the door there. Let's start the car up with that push button start. Nice quick startup, even though it's cold. And we can see everything comes to life. Everything is nice and reachable from the driver's space. The steering wheel feels much better. Usually I don't like the Chevy leather on the steering wheel. Feels much better here. Nice clicky buttons I always love from Chevy. Let's talk about looking out. You can see that the visibility is quite good. Have nice, relatively thin A-pillars. Really not much to say from that perspective. As a driver, this is a perfectly functional vehicle. And now we are moving to the interior of the car, and the first thing I notice is a lot of hard touch materials. I mean, everywhere, even up here, all around, it's all hard, which is okay. I understand the Equinox is a bit more of a base vehicle for Chevy. However, this one is topping 30 grand, so I really think that maybe a little more soft touch would be nice. But it is broken up by some leather on the steering wheel, which is good. Just looking around, lots of storage space in here, which is excellent. Lots of cubbies everywhere. We'll take a bit of a closer look at that later. I like the general interior design. It's a little different from just normal blocks. At least they try to add some curvature through the infotainment screen and around the front area. So while it is all black plastic, at least they tried to give it a little design. But for the 30 grand price point, I'd like a little bit of a material differentiation. Now let's start talking about the technology in this car. Here you can see your driver's gauge cluster, nice physical dials. That's perfectly fine for a crossover at this price point. And you do have a little screen in there. It's currently set on the tire pressure. It's controlled via these buttons on your steering wheel. So if I go right here, and if I hit the buttons, you can see we can scroll through different menus. There is really not much here, but you really don't expect anything. I think most people will just keep it on the speed just like that, and it will do perfectly fine for them. Now let's continue talking about tech. Here is the infotainment screen. It is the standard General Motors system, which is not a bad thing at all. It's a very good system. This is on the 7-inch screen right here. You do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The screen itself is fairly responsive. Usually the Chevy systems are more responsive than this, so I'm not sure what the reason behind that is. Maybe it's just because it's a cold day. But you know, for any sort of system you want to access, it's just like a smartphone, which is a very good thing, very user friendly. And you have some physical controls here. I always love a physical home button in case the system freezes up. Let's move down to the climate controls. Again, I would highly recommend, if you're getting this car, to get the confidence and convenience package for the $2,000. It adds that lift gate that we saw back there. It also adds a lot for climate. So you're getting the dual zone climate controls, which are really nice because you have, you know, the little numbers show up in the dial, which is always very cool. And you also get the heated seats in the front, which is very nice. Climate controls themselves are kind of just laid out here, nice and big, so you can easily hit them while driving. And in the middle, there's nothing really special. You do have a USB-C, A port, and aux there, along with your typical cigarette charger. And then here you have just nice shifter, really nothing to say about that. And an all-wheel drive button. Cup holders, I wish the cup holders had the little bits that held your drink in regardless of the size. And this cubby right here is perfect for change or gloves. Now back here, this is where I had the trauma of my childhood in the rental Equinox back in what, like 2010 or whatever. But I'm happy to report that has completely changed. Back here is really a pleasantly surprising area. Let's talk about amenities first. You have these two air vents back here, which solves the problem that I had. You have two USB-A ports back here, which is wonderful to see. And then you have mat pockets, and you also have a little storage area right here in the middle where you can have two cup holders, which do have the little grabby bits for your smaller drinks, unlike the front cup holders, which is interesting. This also works as a very nice armrest. I'm happy to report there is plenty of legroom back here. You could fit 3 adults. You have no hump, which is awesome. I forgot to talk about the seats in the front. The seats are very comfortable. They're nice and firm, even though they're cloth, it's a high quality cloth. I really like it. They have this nice quilting pattern in the middle. They also have this nice rust brown stitching that goes around the seat that really adds some nice pop and flavor into the car. You do have speakers back here, of course, power windows, and you have some nice chrome handles too, to give a little more pop. So a really nice area back here. Let's talk about some of the additional storage in this car. You have your center glove box if you want to come and look in here. It's pretty deep, good size for the vehicle. No real special amenities there. I like that you get the little case with it and the pen holder. Then you have a glove box right there. That'll fit your manual and maybe a first aid kit or some gloves or something. So you do have adequate storage space on this vehicle. So that's it. The Equinox really impressed us with a pretty nice interior. Even though it had some bland materials, the design itself clearly was well thought out, especially in terms of reachability of everywhere, and use cases are really, really nice in there. You have the all-wheel drive with that 1.5 liter engine. You have this nice black color with some nice exterior styling. Even if it doesn't blow anyone away, no one's really expecting that. Again, this is a $30,000 price tag for this car, plus the $2,000 confidence and convenience package, which we would highly recommend. A huge thanks to Kuhn Chevy Buick GMC of Clarksville for letting us take a look at this 2021 Equinox. If you like this video, consider subscribing to Gas Guzzlers. We'll see you in next week's video.